Alright, so Cheap Gear Guy with you again. We've been doing some, we did some EQ earlier to check things out. And then next, I showed a little bit of panning, how that can help your mixes. In mixing, you're just basically reinforcing everything. You're trying to get the frequencies, especially in your first static mix, your first mix there. Now, volume is a huge bonus. If you can get a volume pedal of any kind, huge bonus. Huge bonus. Because, again, during the chorus, when you need more, when you need to go to 11, to quote Spinal Tap, you just crank that thing full blast. And then you set the minimum range when it's full back, that it's still got either grit or cleans up, depends on what the song is. And that will just dip you out of the way, because you're like, for the chorus, yeah, the singer's going to be singing, everybody's going to be singing. But during the verse, it's going to get a little bit more intimate. It's going to, and the singer's got more room to, the drummer turns down, in the wall, the music comes back in. You just rock that thing back forward. You rock the volume pedal back forward. You rock it back, it cleans up a bit, either just to break up, whatever. And that will help to also get the frequencies clear, because if, especially the bass is just chugging, it seems almost like a breakdown, you know what I mean? The guitars back off. Well, the singer's singing. You can still hear it. It's still comfortable. You still remember the riff that they're playing. It's usually the same riff. And then we go to the chorus. Take that shit to 11. And or if you you got a bridge or pre-chorus, take it halfway. And when people think that you've given them all, give them a bit more. Loud, quiet, loud, quiet. The dynamics of it really make the music. So that's what gives it the emotion and feeling of really pumping and just kind of chilling out and just doing one of these. And then all of a sudden you just want to, you know what I mean? You just want to jam into it. So compression is helping with the dynamics. Volume we consider a dynamics tool. But compression can help you with dynamics. So let's take a quick look at some of that stuff there. I'm sorry I talk so much, but I do talk a whole lot. So we're all just going to have to get over it. I have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. Okay, so for compression, why is this sitting crooked? It's not sitting weird. It's like it's not right. Makes me wonder about it. Okay, there we go. Now it's looking right. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that, because we're probably going to be streaming and they don't want to see that there. Alright, so we got the bass going. Let's give a quick listen to just this one that's doing this. Well, actually, let's just listen to the, I think I've already got some, yeah, I've got some here. So let's turn that on. You know what? Get some of these off of here. Nope, we'll leave the console on. Lindell, we'll get rid of that. Nope, that's a con, this is the thing. That's an EQ. And then there's a Pultec. Get rid of this EQ, because that was from last session. I should have done this already. Please forgive me for not being prepared. We're all living, aren't we? We're living our best lives, just watching EQs getting erased. Okay, so this is the multi-band compressor. This is the Lindell MBC. I'll probably be mostly showing off, sorry about the whistle there, showing off stuff from Plug-in Alliance. Let's go ahead and do 100 so you can see the whole thing. Plug-in Alliance has some really great plugins, and I own this one and a lot of them. Okay, this is the multi-band compressor version of the SBC. Boom. Where's this GUI size? Pardon me. There we go. And this will represent pretty much what most compressors have. This was a API compressor. It's got a lot more features than some like the leveling amplifiers, like the LA2A and things like that, have much fewer options to choose from. While we're here, let's pull up Universal Audio. I got that one for free. That one's actually for free until like the 20th of this month, and I'll show you a couple of things. I got two of them for free from Universal Audio. They're both good. 1176 FET compressor. I believe this is one I got for free. The black one? Yeah, it's the black one. Okay. And scale 175. See? You got your input, your output, your attack, and your release, and your ratio. And those are your main things that you have. Now with this one, the single band, you get your threshold, attack, ratio, and release. Now, the further back you go, the more it's already set. A lot of like the knee and the ratio and all that stuff is already set. And those are considered often they call them like leveling compressors, and they're just for designed for doing that leveling, sitting, bringing in some more gain. This is more for sculpting. So let's go ahead and we're on this track, right? Yeah, we're on this track. Okay, so I'm gonna go through a few things right here to make sure you can hear it. I don't want to be like that one video. Make sure I got video, audio. Too much audio. All right, so we're doing good. According to that, we're tracking. So, all right, so that's the preamp. Let's go ahead and go back to this, and we will move you above the compressor. Might check you over right now. Cool. Cover the elements of the compressor. You have the threshold. A graphic. Let's pull up a graphic one so we can get an idea of what's going on a lot better. Is it a lot better if you can look at it? So let's pull up fat channel. Now this is PreSonus. This comes with Studio One. Almost everything you're gonna need. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and show that right quick. I'll pull up PreSonus. Everything you're gonna possibly need to mix and master. A lot of your DAWs already come with it. Ampere, that is an amp sim. Analog delay, auto filter, beat delay, binaural pan, bit crusher, channel strip, chorus, compressor, dual pan, expander, fat channel, flanger, noise gate, groove delay, IR maker. So if you want to make your own IRs, you got it right there. They make really good condenser microphones and other microphones, so you can make your own IRs in your own house of any of your gear and or any of your rooms. If you want to take it on the go and like capture like an auditorium, if you get access to like, if you're in college or something like that and you want to go around to different auditoriums and stuff and see if they'll let you capture those, you can capture those and it'll sound like your band's playing or whoever you record is being recorded there. Level meter, I didn't want to do that. And because they're PreSonus, they're very low CPU. Pardon me. Mix tool. Mix verb, multiband, open air, pedal board. That's goes with Ampere. It lets you put foot pedals on your effects. You can use those foot pedals from the guitar amp on anything. That's pretty cool, and it works if you have this and if you have another DAW, it works over there too. There's the phase meter. That's always good. The phaser, pipeline mono, pipeline stereo. That allows you to run, if there's a thing that doesn't have mid sides, you can put this in there. And basically what it does, I can show you real quick. It will route, looks like this real quick right here. Is this the one? No, what's the one? This? Yeah, that's it right there. So if I wanted to do this, I could duplicate it and put a splitter. Boom. You see that? And that splitter's there. Copy that there. Copy that there. So if it doesn't have actual mid sides, this can be put onto left and right. So this gets panned all the way, left. And you see that? The pans are here and select the volumes. So yeah, you can adjust that. Pan this one all the way left. In this instance is controlling the left channel. So I could put it as mono if I want to. And then the other one controls the right channel. And if they pan left and right, if you don't have mid-side features, boom, there you go. Just put two instances in there. You've got mid-side features. Pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. As far as, and that's just one little feature right there, the splitter. Much less if you decide to, there's ways to get to all your plugins and stuff like that. It's really, 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 really cool. You can add in instruments for controlling stuff. Like if you have a control surface, you can just learn the knobs and sliders and then set them over here and tell what they control. It's really, really cool. So, yeah, if you want to compress this one, EQ it differently from mid-sides. They also have Yeah, splitter, tone generator. So if you want to get like a white noise, pink noise, and tune that out, VU meter, and X trim, which is like a tremolo slash auto pan. So everything's there. Is it the best? No, not necessarily. Do they have the most interesting interfaces? Some of these are really cool. Other ones don't look all that great, but they get it done, which is why I brought up Fat Channel. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. And the reason I like Fat Channel is because you can look at both features. Move that there. Now, here you have your noise gate, and that can adjust how, where, again, speaking of like compression dynamics, this will adjust how quiet a sound can get before it gets shut off. It adjusts how fast that attacks, how fast it's released when a sound crosses the threshold. See that threshold right there? Anything below that goes quiet. Then you can adjust the range, how hard. See, that's completely quiet. Now, if you just had a little bit of in the background and this was enough to get rid of it, that's enough to get rid of it. No, we don't have to go all the way, so that the gate doesn't have to open all the way when you cross the threshold. Like if all your voice is over here, that's fine. If it's getting rid of all the floor noise might be right here, and all your voice knows it's here. Well, that's not going to mess with that, and it's not going to mess with that. So you got a good build there. You can switch it to an expander. You can listen to a key listen, and listen to what's being filtered out. Here we have the high pass, like what you would with an EQ, and you can just set that before it goes into the compressor at all. That's why it's here. For this compressor, you can like if you have your kick drum and you just want to compress the kick drum most of the highs. If you want to do, I was talking about with the bass, this is right here. So as far as compression, this is the threshold. This is the ratio. This is the key filter, which again, like that, is what goes into the. Do you want to get the, what noise do you want to get not going to the compressor? That can wait it out, or you can just leave it with the whole thing's going through. Attack is how fast the sound attacks, and this is how fast it releases, and this is how much makeup gain. Now let's go through what all that means. After we do that, I can show you examples of some of the other compressors they have built in right here, because they have the tube style leveling. See, there's only two knobs right there and the key map right there. They also have the FET compressor. Each one of these is a different one. They add a different characteristic, like I was saying about the other ones. These all add different characteristics. FET, Lindell, SBC, let's turn you off. MBC, okay, multiband. We'll get into multiband later, but right now, this is a console. We'll also get into console about that, and Sculpt doesn't need to be worried about right now. That's a bit more in depth on, so. We're not using this. What am I doing? I'm going to Fat Channel. Okay, so on Fat Channel, if it doesn't crash. Don't crash, come on. Yep, there it crashed, but oh well. On Fat Channel, there's really loading itself nicely. Start normally. Yes, I know you crashed. Just go ahead. On the Fat Channel, I'll go ahead and show you how. I can go ahead and pull up video while we're waiting, so I'm not just talking. You don't want to put a deck. You want to type in Freestone's Fat Channel. Doesn't matter what drops down. Images. Okay. That's not Fat Channel. There's Fat Channel. There's Fat Channel. You can change the EQs and stuff like that. You can there's a lot of stuff that it has extra pieces that you can buy. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And there's a lot of different types of compressors and things you can get. And it's all right there inside of Studio One. So, let's go ahead and open up the hapless app. No, because this will bring up the old version. None of the changes I've made. I'll probably have to listen to some of the effects back on, but that's okay. So how are you? Doing good? Is your Friday off to a great start? I hope so. Mine's off to a damn good start, man. I went to go pay my water bill. I had to walk down to the, because of course my car got wrecked. So I walked down to the place to pay my water bill. And I've got a bus pass. And I was like, how lazy would that be to ride the bus right there? But it's just like 2-3 blocks maybe. Probably more than that. So I walk all the way down there, And I stopped by the pharmacy. See, B53 won't load again. I stopped by the pharmacy, and they had my prescription, so I go ahead and get that. And I walked down a little bit further to the city hall, and downtown Kingsley. It's a really small thing. The library is built into it, if that tells you anything. And I go in and pay my bill. I yap with Deb for a second, and she's cool. And so I go out. I'm just walking out. I'm about to start heading, walking home. And I see the bus cut behind the library. And I know there's a bus stop at the library, so I walk to the far end of there. I was like, no, it could be good in two ways. If he's going up to Northland Shopping Center, I got to fucking ride home. If he's going to town, that would take like a long... I mean, if I wanted to avoid the cold, that's one way to do it, by taking a long, like hour-long ride. I don't want to do that, so I'll just walk home. And so he pulls up, I open the door, I was like, are you going to or from Northland? He's like, to. I'm just head on, I get my little card already in my hand, and I'm like, you roll, man. You roll, you got perfect timing, bro. And he started laughing, I'm like, I don't have to walk. I could have done it. I mean, it's not like I can't. It's not that cold, but... Dude, my feet just started getting warm again. Another, going up to be cold. Fuck that. So, compressor. Let's see here. Recent. Let's try fat. Nope. Fat channel. And just stick with that for right now, so we don't have a lot of stuff loaded. That's loud enough. Let me check the meters. Sorry for any popping. Okay, it says we got a good meter there. It's at least good enough to move and manipulate. Here we have the fat channel. Fat channel. Here we have the fat channel. Fat channel. I don't know if that's supposed to be fat channel. Alright, so we did some sculpting here. We got a high pass, also known as a low cut, because it cuts everything below whatever frequency you set it here. Okay? Being bass, you probably want 70, 80, whatever makes it feel good for you, we already discussed the gate, so let's go to the compression. Right now we're getting fast release, fast attack, no gain, key filter. I like between like 3.5 and like 4.5 or so. You're getting such a taste, whatever works for you by all means. And you'll see right here, okay, watch this. As the threshold comes down, you'll see how far it bends down. See that? This is the decibels of how negative 48, negative 36, and we're going up to 0. You see it jump in there? Let's keep on going. Now you see an activity about to negative 6. Okay? Boom. We got a good signal going in, and it's not really doing anything to the signal. If you want, you can get a little bit more. It's all dependent on you. What you want. If you want a soft knee, instead of being such a jagged, it'll be more of a smooth, rather than being going up and then just jaggeding. For auto release, this is the release to let it automatically release. Oh, there's auto attack too, apparently. This is full auto. Here's a release. I tend to put it about there. Because I do want to grab it, but I want some of it to pass through. The faster the attack, the faster, once it crosses this negative 20, negative about 30. Once it crosses that threshold, closer to negative 30. Once it crosses that threshold, whatever that volume is, how fast, once it crosses there, it attacks it. Now you can go all the way down to 0.2 milliseconds. Pretty fast attack. I believe it can go faster, but I won't swear by it. But I know that 0.2 is pretty fast because it's under a second, so... And then it can go all the way up to 150 milliseconds before it actually interacts, before the compressor actually starts. You're starting to see why this compressor, although old and does the job, doesn't really quite cut it because it has a set ratio, it has a set release, it has everything, but it does good because when your music is coming through, is this on? Yes, on. Okay, so, well, you know, so you can add volume. I don't know what, there we go. So there's 0, and then we get back. 3 and 6. I mean, do it to whatever sounds good. If this sounds good to you, then do that. Okay, there's no hard, fast rules about anything. We are using the lower one, so cutting anything below probably like, 50, 60 or 50, 50 or 60, you're gonna get rid of some good information, but it won't be hitting the filters. The thing is, it won't be hitting the compressor. That's all the difference. You can listen to what's being processed. So if we're doing the high end, but we're not, we're doing the lower end. See? So you do want to bump that up. Nice and smoothing. That's way too much for me. That's way too much reduction. Do you hear the difference now when it did that build up and the da 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 da? Supposed to drop out here. Let's go back to the original compressor so you can actually take a visual look at it. This again doesn't have everything on there, so we want the attack to lie through. We don't want to do it. If you do release all the way, that's more of a what is it, tactful? One of the two is like a brick wall limiter. Where's the release? Oh, ratio, that's one. There we go. Ratio, if you just did ratio, see how it went flat? So anything hits this and it won't go past that at all. You just won't let it through. You can just a key filter too. But this is just like, how much is it? You see, it's compressing it at a ratio. That's 1 to 1. Anything that goes over the threshold passes right through. Even with the fast attack, fast release. See, it's starting to cross that threshold. Not too much, and you start getting, like I said, do that, but you start getting pumping and stuff like that. So a good 3.5, 4.5, 4, somewhere around there. Just mess around until you get to what feels right for you. As far as the attack and release, I like the. That's not doing anything. That's gripping it too long for me. Here, you can hear the different notes. It's all one note. It's not. There's no dynamics. You can hear those picks. You want to let it go through. Here it goes through. Look how much it's going through. Okay. If you want to do that for like a kick drum or whatever. Now we've got about 6 decibels of reduction, so you can always bring that back in with makeup gain. If you do it well, and at this point you can check and find out, you should be able to balance until it sounds smooth. It should sound good, but it shouldn't sound. Oh wait, so. Unless that's what you're going for. You're at pumps. If that's what you want, like a secondary to this one. Like this one's actually solid, but you want that tut tut tut. You want that kind of choppy sound. Notice the difference? louder in case you don't want to hit over 0, but you are getting a lot of signal. No. If you don't need that, then you don't need it. So. Now on this, for me, like if I was just going for a full sound, I probably would go for something more with the full spectrum. But if I were going for not, then I would try and get rid of some of the top end and use this one to carry all that. Everything that's in this section. Mine's like a little bit of crossover. Would all be on. If that's missing from this image of the bass would be in my other one, and I might even do a third one. Depends on how I feel. If I'm feeling froggy. Like I said, I approach each mix as to what it needs, not as what's the answer. And that's the best way to keep it artistic. And that way each song feels like its own thing, because you're not, okay, I've got Ampire, I've got Amp Locker, there's my guitar solution. No. I've got that, I've got, free ones, I've got several pay ones, I've got, IK Multimedia Amplitude, I've got Line 6 Pod Farm, I've got, if it's a free one, I've got it. That free versions of Native Instruments, Guitar Rig 7, Plugin Alliance has a bunch of amps in there. It's just having different stuff to do different things, That's the main thing, is having a lot of different tools, and that's why it never hurts to grab free stuff. If you get a chance to check out like some Hit the Keys, HTK, SUMN, HTK, Hit the Keys. That's where I got like a lot of my free plugins. So either that, or you got to keep like a very, very watchful eye on the, on everything, because I would recommend signing up with anybody that's got I try to keep it into packages if possible, so I'm not sitting there floating around with just one, because then you have to remember either the name of the plugin. There's one that I really like a lot. This one's pretty good. The Growler, that one's pretty good for doing bass and distortion. So you can Gorilla, that's another bass distortion one. Black Rooster Audio. You see, I like to have like a group, so I know what's all in there and what's going on. Again, group. These are all free. Go to Blue Cat, those are free. Boz, these are free. Calum, these are free. Cakewalk, these came with Cakewalk, but there's even more inside Cakewalk. Someone that did Dear Reality. I got Dear Micro free. That one's crazy. I'll have to cover that with the spatial ones, which I'll do like the next video of. This was free, but see, there's only one. But man, I'll tell you, this is a damn good reverb. Oral River, holy crap, I really like that one a lot. I'll cover that in the reverbs. Trap Drive, there was a big push for, the fuck is that? Drive, for a little while there. Focusrite, those are really good. I think those are free. Yeah, those are free. The compressor and the EQ. Since we're talking compressor, let's go ahead and bring that up and show you what this Focusrite compressor looks like. If it'll load, please load. Please don't crash my system. You're gonna crash? It looks like it because you're not loading the instance over here. I'm hoping it just takes a second, doesn't crash down. If it does, we might just call it good on this, because I've kind of shown and described all the compressors have a basic same idea of those. If you can imagine taking away the graphical interface and just having the knobs. You can't see what's going on, which is, it's good, it's bad, it's whatever it is, Okay, that's not showing up, so let's just remove it before it crashes or something. Okay, cool. How long are we going? 29 minutes. Okay, so let's kind of like wrap things up a bit. The other one's pretty short too. I didn't see if anyone's talking. Sorry if anyone's been talking or anything like that. I don't care about that. I'm trying to just do something. Hey, what's going on, man? You like Cheap Gear 2? Warheart Arts. What's happening if you're still there? You're on OTB though. OTB? What's OTB? I don't know what that is, man. I'm 48. I don't know any modern stuff. I've kind of been a recluse for many, many years, almost 20 years now. out here by myself. I'm engaged to be married for like 18 years, and had about a year ago, almost a year ago exactly. No, actually, it was a year ago, about March. And I started broadcasting just to, just to talk about stuff because I don't have anybody to talk to. And so I just started just talking, just doing live, and I kept saying over and over, I'm like, I'm not doing these for anything other than my own. I am going live. Being into audio, I didn't like the quality as I was like, trying, like I said, trying to clear some thoughts out and stuff, and just about different things. And found OBS. I was like, how do people podcast? And I saw somebody streaming. Shep Gold. Shep Gold. He's doing almost every night. I believe he's been doing for years. He does like every night, man, like for long times, dude. And he's like a philosopher type person, and yeah, it's really cool. And, so I tune in stuff, and there's a lot of people that are like, how do I get more, blah 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 blah. How do I get more? How do I write more songs? And he gives like advice. It's like you already want to. You guys just gotta go out and do it. You just gotta do it. I mean, it's just stuff like that, and giving like practical advice. And he's got some good advice. Um, it's not like fortune cookie style. It is actual like practical advice. So it's something I always tell someone if it was asking the same stuff. And he plays songs and stuff. It's really cool. And because of him, I switched over to OBS. And once I got OBS, I found out how to do all this stuff. Well, of course, I had to get my audio interface working correctly, so I checked to see how I would get the PreSonus to stream, and it has a built-in virtual loop mix in the PreSonus Studio series. It's already built in to do that. So all I had to do was go into the PreSonus interface and turn on loopback to virtual, and then set up a track in here to be virtual, and the one, the playing track that I wanted to play through. I have to minimize that screen, otherwise I start to click and pop and stuff. So when I'm mixing and mastering, it's nothing on anybody. I can't read and I can't watch that and stuff, and that's not what I'm really here for anyway. So I want to mix and stuff and show some stuff. But this is about it for the compressor. I already showed the fat channel here and how it kind of works and what you can do with it. Not necessarily all you can do with it, but I mean, gave you some ideas about like how the attack works. Again, once that crosses the threshold, how quickly this clamps down, how quickly this starts to interact. The release is how quickly it lets go. Once it crosses over there, does it slowly do it? Does it fast? And then the key is to try and get a, pardon me, a natural sound, or if you're going for a weird sound, to get that sound, whatever sound you're going for. You want that pumping effect. You want the wow, wow, wow. This sound is just wow, 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 wow. But you want to really like pulse. You can do that with a compressor. There's a lot of stuff you can do to make, and then there's motion and stuff, which I'll probably cover next about putting motion in. I would start with EQ because you got panning, part of the mix. Compression is getting all the peaks and stuff under control, making sure volumes are right, bringing things down, bringing things up that need to be brought up, and then the next step would be like widening things, and that'd be panning. Once you get done with panning, there's other tricks and stuff to do, so I'm going to cover that next, and then I'll go into spatial plugins like reverbs and stuff like that. How many I'll do today, I don't know. I got nothing to do, and I'm having fun. I think I'm dumb. Maybe I'm just happy.